here and welcome to my craft room. I am going to do an unusual card using Zig color markers. I'm going to be using this Zig Tab 2 placement for this type of embossing folder. It is a very deep embossing folder, very unique in nature, and I'm going to do this card on a 5x7 piece of 140-pound cardstock. And when I say it's unusual, I'm putting a snowman set with this gorgeous, look at that deep emboss. It has two embossing areas. It has the beautiful wreath and then it has a background emboss. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful by Spellbinders? And I can't right off the cuff think of what they call that, but I'm using the My Favorite Things. I know what this is called. Set of snowmen. This die, I love it. And I'm using my liquid Versamark for the fact that I have control with my makeup applicator to put it on just the places on this wreath that I want to have it embossed. And I use this like crazy. It just is very nice for an embossing folder because you don't want to be pressing down and affect any of the raised area um, that you worked so hard to run through your vagabond. So this is my ultra fine gold detail powder. I love it. And it's not a bright gold. It's an offset gold. And I really like that. If offset gold is actually describing the color, it's just not very shiny. So I started out with this knowing I was going to have snowmen on here, and I knew what the set was. They're marshmallow. They have marshmallows and they're roasting it on a little wee campfire. And you're saying, Carol, then why do you have a wreath? I don't know. My mind, it just went there. I wanted a wreath and I wanted a snowman die on my card project, so I combined both of them and I'll show you how I did it. So here's my baster, and I know that my friend Jen told me what it was called. I think she said it was a piguette, something like that, but baster just seemed right for me. A turkey baster, but for crafting. How's that? Sorry, Jen. I like using this, actually, this baster, because I have control of where I put my embossing powder. And you're looking at it and you're thinking, wow, what on earth are you doing, Carol? It is orange and red and yellow and black, and I have it all over the place on the bottom. But if you think about it, I have snowmen that are roasting marshmallows over an open fire. And I don't know why they're underneath the wreath, but that's where I wanted them. So here I'm putting it in the Misty because I want to make sure if I press it down that I use, good force enough that it is a nice, clean stamp. And it was. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I heat set it with clear embossing powder, and it was my Detail Fine ink, the black ink. Isn't that pretty? And look at, yes, underneath the wreath, and it says, Toasty greetings are coming your way. And I did two of them. One I didn't, I moved on it. See the bottom one? And yeah, I'm sorry, it was blurry, but the top one worked out well. And here I am using my Molotow masking fluid. I love, love, I love this stuff. That's all I can say. And this is the refill one that has the, it's open larger on the end so that I get a good amount when I don't even have to press it. It just comes out like that. And it literally took me about 4 minutes to heat set it with my heat tool here. Now I want to set the background like a kind of little camper scene out in the wilderness with my big wreath right there. And I used 3 different distress blues. I used my mid-tone on the top, my dark in the middle, and my light color at the bottom of the blue base there. And I am adding red and green and yellow. I add a sun there in the middle of this wreath. And I want it to just look like a night scene and to have the sun in the middle of the wreath. And I want to cover up, that's why I masked my little marshmallow um, snowmen, and I like that one, and it's from My Favorite Things. Here I'm just flicking up the colors off of the little campfire in the red, the black, and the orange tones. And I actually make the flames. I use my Copic multi-liner to make the flames come up just a little bit, and that's why my wreath is on fire. I know, it's unusual. I know. I can't explain it away. I just thought of this idea and I ran with it. So when we do cards, we just can't explain the way we design it, right? We just run with the thought that we have, and look at this Molotov masking come off. I'm serious, when I heat set this, it only took 4 minutes. I tried to keep track of it, and I think that's all it was. So here I'm wiping the color down so that I don't push it onto the white, and I'm taking it off with my kneading eraser here, that real thick square. I don't know which one it is. Somebody asked me about that, but it is a real hard eraser. So let's color with our Zig markers. Don't you? I love my Zig markers. These I love the ends of them because they're precision tipped, and they're like using a paintbrush. I wanted the colors of the snowmen, the little wee snowman and the little wee baby snowman looking up at the wreath. Yeah, see him looking up there? Oh no! Look what happened, Daddy. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yes, I am editing in the wee hours of the morning again. So, anyway, I am using my navies and yellow and whatever I think looks bright and cheery for this snowman here. And isn't this set from My Favorite Things cute? They're like a little wobbly snowman. And so on the bottom of this, when I go to color it, I try to make it look like an action wobble, like it's in motion. You'll see that in a minute. And I am using 3 different tones to get some shading on here. They're just as enjoyable to color with these as my Copics. I really like these Zig markers. And by flicking this in towards the center with my dark gray, it's almost to a black hue, but it's dark gray, you get the illusion that he is actually rocking here. And I'm going to add snow all over the end, all over the bottom end of the card. So I knew that I needed a little bit of space there. And the little wee baby snowman, he's so cute. I did both their noses, and my thought here was to make sure they were nice and bright so that you could see the little wee guy looking up at the flames hitting my big wreath. And I don't know, it's different, I know, but I enjoyed the process. Now we're going to proceed on to the coloring with the zigs again. What I did here, well, I'm just going to jump in while you watch me color. Where it's the greeting that I put there is on the, I always like to say acetate, but it's my vellum. Yes, while I'm editing, I thought, remember to say acetate, Carol. It's not vellum. And then I thought, no, Carol, it's vellum. Make sure you don't say acetate. And I was totally confused. But anyway, it's my 40-pound vellum from Stampin' Up. And it says, toasty greetings are coming your way. I thought that was kind of cute. And then I'm going to use my snow applique. I really like that stuff. You know, the stuff that you put on and you heat set it with your heat tool? Oh, and I was running out with this one too, but I didn't want to grab a new one because I wanted to use it up. It's like, that's what I have to start doing, using up what I have instead of putting it back and opening new product. So here we have purple and brown into the rocks on the bottom of the little fire pit. It's just a little fire. And I color in, once again, here's my Pico embellisher, and this one is clear. I'm putting it on all the spots that I want to stand out, and the fire and the bodies, and a little bit on the flames on the wreath as well. And I really like it that it is bright and cherry. I wanted to go for something bright and cherry. And there's that applique. I I get it at Michael's here, and isn't it awesome? I put it on the marshmallows, and you can tell I'm getting down to the last of it. I'm having to squeeze it out, but you know, look at this. Here we go. Heat set it. I bought 3 of them, and I only have one left. So here, that shows you I use it a lot. Here's my little snowflakes coming from the sky, um, little ones and big ones, and I tried to set them on the vellum edges too, and coming down, and I put it on the little snow baby's nose. Yeah, I know you can hardly notice that, but I thought that was kind of cute. And then I made the marshmallows puff out too. It's an unusual card, but it's bright and cheery. Now here I use this enamel dot. You can't see it. I'm sorry it was not on the camera for you, but I used it for the eyes on the the snowmen. I did their eyes with the enamel, black enamel. And I'm just taking a little bit of it off there. And there we have it. Look how the eyes stand out here. And I'm just taking my water brush and going over it to take off any of the picot embellisher I had on his little hat there. And I'm adding some stickles, some sparkly stickles on the belt buckle and the buttons. And I used a yellow stickle for his little mittens. And I rubbed some with my fingertips into the little flames. I took the vellum and I put yellow, orange, and red, moving up from the red to the orange to the yellow on the back of the vellum, on the greeting there, the sentiment. And here I was putting the little holly dots on here with the green stickles. I don't use my stickles enough, and I have so many colors, and I thought I am going to put stickle drops on there. So it's 5x7. I added my Suquang tape to the back and pressed it gentle, and isn't that different? That's all I can say. It's different, right? So now, and this is pretty clean and simple for me, right? This card, I didn't do very much to the outside, and I certainly didn't do a lot to the inside. I grabbed one of the stamps from the Ranger kit that I used on my last project, and I put it in different colors, and then I gave it a spray mist. And I took out of my favorite things set, it says awesome fun. And I put awesome on the top in different colors of the distress ink and fun on the bottom. Now I took my picot embellisher again and I went over the letters here on awesome on the top and the fun here on the bottom. And I think it is awesome fun. And then I grabbed some enamel dots and I matched the colors up. I used 5 of them, and that completes my clean and simple card for you today. Unusual, but fun to do. Yes, who'd have thunk, right? Have yourself a blessed week, and as always, leave a comment. I'm going to pick somebody and send you this card. Okay? If anybody wants to win it. Take care, everybody.